When Jean Beliveau wanted to see the world, he didn't buy a plane ticket, he walked. Over the course of a decade, Beliveau covered 75,000 kilometers on foot, crossing international borders and sleeping in tents along the way. Most of us don't have the time or the desire to walk across the globe. Instead, we obsess over arbitrary daily metrics, like hitting exactly 10,000 steps, or we push ourselves through punishing high-intensity interval training. Yet despite this obsession with fitness tracking, we spend most of our days entirely sedentary, and it's taking a toll. Rates of Alzheimer's, heart disease, and depression are climbing steadily. The Greek physician Hippocrates called walking man's best medicine, and the science backs him up. Human biology is built to thrive on consistent, low-impact movement. Meaningful health gains don't demand extreme feats of endurance or perfect scores on a tracker. They begin with the biological cascade triggered by a simple afternoon stroll. The moment you start walking, your internal chemistry immediately shifts, rapidly curbing the release of the stress hormone cortisol. At the same time, your brain releases a surge of pain-relieving endorphins. Your breathing deepens, and the increased flow of oxygen in your bloodstream goes to work eliminating cellular waste and toxins. This chart compares the effects of walking versus running on the pancreas. After 6 months, frequent walkers showed a 6 times greater improvement in glucose tolerance, or blood sugar absorption, than the runners. By allowing the pancreas to produce less insulin, this gentle movement provides a powerful metabolic reset, actively shielding the body against type 2 diabetes without the taxing recovery demands of intense cardio. Moving up to the brain, we see a structural upgrade. This diagram shows the hippocampus, the region responsible for verbal memory and learning. Consistent aerobic movement actually expands this area, lowering the risk of developing dementia. And as the focus shifts down to the eyes, we find that moving your legs directly protects your optic nerve. Walking reduces intraocular pressure by draining excess fluid, fighting the onset of glaucoma. Further down, your cardiovascular system is remodeling itself. To keep up with the increased energy demand from your muscles, your lungs take in more air, and your heart becomes highly efficient at pumping blood, organically lowering your blood pressure. Taken together, these systemic changes act as an internal maintenance cycle. The daily rhythm of walking actively preserves the structural integrity of your most vital organs. Zooming out to the skeletal structure, carrying the weight of your own body places a specific type of physical stress on your bones. This pressure stimulates the absorption of calcium and essential minerals. While high-impact exercises like running can wear down joint cartilage, walking does the exact opposite. It builds sturdy bones, increases joint mobility, and stabilizes your spinal posture. You don't need a 10,000-step quota to trigger these biomechanical benefits. You only need the FIT formula: frequency, intensity, and time. In practice, the ideal parameters are straightforward. Aim for 30 minutes a day at a brisk pace of 2 to 3 miles an hour. You should be moving fast enough to raise your heart rate, but slow enough to still hold a conversation. By avoiding the inflammatory recovery tax of high-impact workouts, walking provides maximum continuous structural reinforcement for the entire body. But when we zoom all the way out to the modern city, a major barrier appears. Most urban environments have been engineered actively against human movement. We build infrastructure that prioritizes the vehicle over the pedestrian. Restrictive zoning laws typically isolate residential neighborhoods entirely from commercial areas. When shops and amenities are connected only by busy roadways, we are forced to rely on cars, eliminating easy, incidental daily steps. Changing this geography changes behavior. In 2013, Vancouver officials converted a 2-kilometer road into the Comox-Helmkin Greenway, a dedicated space for walking and biking. Afterward, people living near the Greenway reduced their daily car trips by 23%. This area chart reveals the macro-environmental result of that shift. As adoption of the walkable Greenway went up, local personal greenhouse gas emissions dropped a steep 21%. When communities retrofit their infrastructure to allow for safe, accessible walking, the city's environment literally breathes easier, mirroring the health of our own lungs. The benefits of these interactive pedestrian spaces extend far beyond clean air. A study examining the dense, highly walkable neighborhoods of Hong Kong tracked the psychological health of the city's senior citizens.
Researchers found that seniors living in these foot-friendly areas reported significantly lower levels of loneliness and much higher overall life satisfaction compared to those in car-dependent districts. You don't have to embark on a grueling, multi-year trek around the globe to achieve peak well-being, nor do you have to suffer through exhausting routines at the gym. Reclaiming the simple, free act of walking works from the cellular level outward. It provides a blueprint for health that repairs our internal systems while naturally improving the social and environmental health of the communities we inhabit.